Conflicts are an inevitable part of every relationship. Whether with a partner, family member, friend, or colleague, disagreements and misunderstandings arise. They can feel draining, confusing, and sometimes even threatening to the bonds we cherish most. You might find yourself caught in cycles of frustration, hurt feelings, or defensiveness, wondering if peaceful resolution is even possible. The truth is, conflict doesn't have to be destructive. It can be a gateway to deeper understanding, stronger connection, and personal growth if we know how to navigate it skillfully. But how do you handle conflict in a way that doesn't leave you emotionally exhausted or regretful? How can you remain calm and clear-headed when emotions run high? How can you find resolution that honors both your needs and the other person's? These are questions that countless people struggle with, and yet answers have been waiting for centuries in the wisdom of Stoicism. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy embraced by emperors and commoners alike, offers a timeless framework for mastering the art of resolving conflicts. It teaches us that while we cannot always control what others say or do, we can control how we respond. It guides us to approach disagreements not as battles to be won, but as opportunities to practice reason, virtue, and empathy. Through its principles, we learn to manage our emotions, communicate with clarity, and cultivate harmony even in the midst of disagreement. In this video, we will explore 8 practical, Stoic-inspired ways to handle relationship challenges skillfully. These are not quick fixes or superficial tricks. They are deep, enduring lessons rooted in reason and character that empower you to transform conflict from a source of pain into a catalyst for growth and connection. You will learn how to cultivate self-awareness to pause before reacting, how to listen empathetically to understand rather than just respond, and how to focus your energy on what you can control, your own responses and attitudes. We will discuss the power of calm and honest communication, the healing strength of forgiveness, and the importance of seeking fairness and justice in resolving disputes. You'll also discover the liberating practice of accepting impermanence and recognizing when it's wiser to let go. Finally, we'll emphasize viewing conflict as an opportunity to learn and grow, strengthening not only your relationships but your own character. If you're ready to shift your approach to conflict, to navigate challenges with grace and wisdom, and to build stronger, more resilient connections, this video is for you. Together, we'll unlock the art of skillful conflict resolution grounded in Stoic philosophy, offering you tools to face relationship challenges with courage, clarity, and compassion. Let's begin this journey toward peace and mastery in the art of resolving conflicts, because every relationship deserves the chance to grow through understanding, and every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. Conflict is a natural and unavoidable part of human relationships. Even the closest bonds face moments of tension, disagreement, and hurt. The Stoics understood this reality deeply. They didn't view conflict as something to be feared or avoided at all costs, but as a normal part of life and a chance to practice virtue and reason. At its core, conflict often arises from misunderstandings, differing perspectives, or competing needs and values. These differences are not inherently bad. They are part of what makes us human and unique. The problem arises when emotions cloud judgment, communication breaks down, and ego takes control. Stoicism offers a powerful lens to understand and manage conflict by emphasizing the role of reason over passion. It teaches us to approach disagreements with a calm and rational mind, focusing on what truly matters rather than getting lost in the heat of the moment. A key Stoic insight is recognizing the dichotomy of control in conflicts. You cannot control how others think, feel, or act, but you can control your own responses, intentions, and actions. This understanding forms the foundation for peaceful resolution. Instead of trying to dominate or change the other person, you work on mastering your own mind and behavior. Acceptance is another pillar of the Stoic approach. Accepting that conflict will occur and that people are fallible helps you approach disputes with patience and humility. This acceptance does not mean passivity or tolerating harm, but rather recognizing the limits of your influence and focusing on constructive engagement. By applying reason and acceptance, the Stoics cultivated social harmony without sacrificing personal integrity. They believed relationships flourished when each person took responsibility for their own conduct and sought mutual understanding. This perspective shifts conflict from a battleground to a shared problem-solving space. It invites you to move beyond blame and defensiveness and toward dialogue and collaboration. Understanding conflict through this Stoic lens prepares you to apply practical strategies that build bridges rather than walls. It opens the way to handle relationship challenges skillfully, turning moments of tension into opportunities for growth and deeper connection. The first essential step in resolving conflict is cultivating self-awareness before reacting. When tensions rise, emotions can cloud your judgment and provoke impulsive responses that escalate the situation. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-examination, to recognize your feelings and triggers early. Developing this awareness allows you to pause, take a breath, and observe your internal state. Instead of immediately reacting with anger, frustration, or defensiveness, you create a mental space to choose a reasoned response. This pause is critical. It breaks the automatic chain of reaction and empowers you to act with intention rather than impulse. It's like installing a gatekeeper at the entrance to your mind, deciding which thoughts and emotions deserve your attention and which can pass by. Stoic exercises such as journaling help build this self-awareness. By reflecting daily on your emotional responses, you become more attuned to patterns that lead to conflict. Over time, you strengthen your ability to notice when you're becoming reactive and develop strategies to regain calm. Mindfulness practices also cultivate this skill by training you to be present with your feelings without judgment. Recognizing emotions as transient events reduces their power to control you. With greater self-awareness, you can regulate your emotions more effectively, preventing escalation and fostering constructive dialogue. This self-mastery is the foundation for skillful conflict resolution, enabling you to engage thoughtfully and with a clear mind. Before responding in conflict, ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why? Is my reaction helping or hurting the situation? Can I choose a calmer, more reasoned response? These questions, grounded in Stoic wisdom, guide you toward peaceful and productive interactions. By mastering your inner state first, you set the stage for all the other steps in resolving relationship challenges skillfully. One of the most transformative approaches to handling conflict is practicing empathy and truly seeking to understand the other person's perspective. It's easy to get caught up in defending your own point of view, especially when emotions run high. But the Stoics remind us that we share a common humanity and that understanding others, especially in conflict, is essential to harmony and growth. Empathy doesn't mean you have to agree with everything the other person says or sacrifices your own truth. Instead, it's about listening actively and with genuine curiosity, trying to see the situation through their eyes. This effort breaks down walls, reduces hostility, and opens space for meaningful dialogue. The Stoics placed great value on social harmony and mutual respect, knowing that relationships are the fabric of a good life. When you listen with empathy, you acknowledge the other person's feelings and experiences, which often leads them to respond in kind. It's a simple but powerful way to diffuse tension. Techniques like reflective listening, where you repeat or summarize what you've heard, show that you're engaged and trying to understand, not just waiting to rebut. This encourages openness and reduces misunderstandings. Empathy also helps you uncover the root causes of conflict, which are often fears, unmet needs, or misunderstandings rather than malicious intent. Recognizing this allows you to address issues at a deeper level rather than getting stuck on surface arguments. Practicing empathy requires patience and humility. It means setting aside assumptions and judgments and being willing to hold space for another's experience. This openness builds trust, making resolution more attainable. By prioritizing empathy in conflict, you shift from confrontation to collaboration, creating a foundation where both parties feel heard and valued. This is a cornerstone of Stoic wisdom applied to relationship challenges. A crucial lesson from Stoicism for handling conflicts is focusing on what you can control, your own responses. The dichotomy of control teaches us that while we cannot command how others behave or feel, we have full authority over our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. When conflict arises, it's tempting to blame the other person or become a victim of circumstances, but this only robs you of your power and peace. Instead, the Stoic approach is to accept what you cannot change and take responsibility for how you respond. This mindset fosters inner calm because your emotional state no longer depends on the unpredictable behavior of others. You become resilient, adapting your reactions rather than trying to control external events. Practically, this means shifting your focus from trying to win or prove a point to managing your own conduct with integrity and reason. It might involve choosing silence over heated words, responding with kindness instead of anger, or stepping back to reflect before engaging. By changing your internal dialogue, reminding yourself that your peace is your own, you weaken the hold that conflict has over your mind. Avoiding blame and victimhood is also part of this lesson. When you see yourself as the agent of your reactions, you regain confidence and clarity. You're no longer tossed about by emotional storms, but steady in your own purpose. Maintaining this focus requires practice, especially in the heat of disagreement. Techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, or even a brief pause before responding can help you stay grounded. This way of engaging doesn't mean passivity or submission. It's active self-mastery, a choice to engage from strength rather than weakness. By centering your energy on what you control, your responses, you build unshakable mental strength and create space for genuine resolution, no matter how challenging the conflict may be. Clear and calm communication is a vital tool in resolving conflicts skillfully. When emotions run high, words can become weapons or walls, deepening misunderstandings and prolonging tension. The Stoics emphasize the importance of truthfulness and clarity, encouraging us to speak with purpose and restraint. Calm communication starts with self-control. Before you respond, take a moment to center yourself. Speak slowly, choose your words thoughtfully, and avoid reactive language that can escalate the situation. This measured approach helps maintain respect on both sides and invites the other person to listen rather than defend. Being truthful is equally important. Honesty doesn't mean being harsh or unkind. It means expressing your feelings and needs clearly without distortion or exaggeration. When you communicate with integrity, you build trust, which is the foundation for any effective resolution. Effective communication also involves expressing yourself in a way that is focused on the issue, not the person. Avoid blame or judgmental statements which trigger defensiveness. Instead, use I statements that describe your experience and feelings. For example, say, "I feel hurt when," rather than "you always." Listening is part of communication too. When you model calm and clear speech, it encourages the other person to mirror that tone. This mutual respect opens the door to productive dialogue and problem solving. By cultivating these habits, patience in speaking, honesty in content, and focus on the issue, you transform conflict from confrontation into conversation. This approach aligns perfectly with Stoic values of reason, justice, and social harmony. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful and liberating Stoic practices in conflict resolution. Holding grudges and nursing resentment only trap you in ongoing suffering. The Stoics understood that forgiveness isn't about excusing wrongdoing or forgetting harm. It's about releasing yourself from the emotional burden that festers when you cling to anger. When you forgive, you free your mind and heart from toxicity. This act of mercy is more for your own peace than for the person who caused harm. Forgiveness allows you to move forward without carrying the weight of past hurts. Authentic forgiveness requires humility and compassion. It means recognizing human fallibility and accepting that everyone makes mistakes, including yourself. The Stoics urged us to extend the same understanding to others that we seek for ourselves. Practically, forgiveness begins with acknowledging your feelings honestly, then choosing to let go of the desire for revenge or resentment. It might involve reframing the situation, seeing the other person's actions as misguided rather than malicious. The benefits of forgiveness are profound. It heals relationships, restores trust, and creates space for renewed connection. Even if reconciliation isn't possible, forgiveness protects your own well-being and mental strength. By embracing forgiveness, you embody the Stoic ideal of inner freedom, freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness and embracing peace, regardless of external circumstances. This practice is a cornerstone of skillful conflict resolution and a pathway to lasting harmony. Justice is one of the cardinal virtues in Stoicism and plays a central role in resolving conflicts fairly and skillfully. When faced with disagreements, it's essential to seek solutions that respect the needs and rights of all parties involved. This means moving beyond self-interest and striving for fairness and balance. Approaching conflict with a mindset of justice requires you to listen openly, weigh perspectives honestly, and be willing to compromise without sacrificing your core values. It's about finding a middle ground where everyone feels heard and respected. This not only resolves the immediate dispute, but also strengthens trust and cooperation for the future. Negotiation is a practical expression of justice. Rather than trying to win at all costs, the Stoic approach encourages you to collaborate, looking for outcomes that serve the common good. This mindset diffuses adversarial tension and opens the door to creative solutions. Stories throughout history show how leaders who prioritized justice in conflict built lasting legacies. They understood that relationships and social harmony depend on fairness, and they modeled this through their actions and decisions. By cultivating a just approach to conflict, you align yourself with a higher purpose beyond personal gain. This brings not only resolution, but dignity and peace of mind, reinforcing your unshakable mental strength. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, conflicts cannot be fully resolved. People have different values, beliefs, and experiences that may never align completely. The Stoics teach us the wisdom of accepting these limits and focusing on what is within our control, our own virtue and responses. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or apathy. It means recognizing when to disengage from futile arguments or when to let go of the desire for perfect harmony. This wisdom spares you unnecessary suffering and preserves your mental energy for what truly matters. Knowing when to accept impermanence in relationships or outcomes is a profound skill. It prevents bitterness and frustration and fosters peace, even amidst ongoing differences. This lesson invites you to cultivate patience and tolerance, understanding that not all conflicts will end with agreement, but can still coexist with respect and calm. Disengagement can sometimes be the most skillful response, especially when continued conflict harms your well-being. The Stoics remind us that protecting your own integrity and peace is paramount. By embracing the limits of control and practicing acceptance, you maintain your center and avoid being dragged into endless turmoil. This mindset is a powerful tool for navigating the complex realities of human relationships with grace and strength. The final lesson in mastering the art of resolving conflicts is to commit to growth and learning from every challenge. Conflicts are often seen as obstacles or failures, but the Stoics teach us to view them as opportunities for personal and relational development. Each disagreement, misunderstanding, or tension is a chance to practice patience, humility, empathy, and self-control. Reflection is key to this growth. After a conflict, take time to honestly examine your role. What did you do well? Where did you fall short? What emotions or thoughts influenced your behavior? This self-examination, a daily Stoic practice, allows you to learn from experience and refine your responses for the future. Conflict also teaches adaptability, the ability to adjust your approach without compromising your values. Sometimes, resolving a challenge requires creativity, compromise, or seeing things from a new perspective. Embracing this flexibility strengthens your relationships and your own character. Humility is essential in this process. Recognizing that you don't have all the answers and that mistakes are part of growth opens you to continuous learning. This attitude not only improves conflict resolution skills but deepens your understanding of yourself and others. By committing to growth, you transform conflict from a source of stress into a path toward wisdom and stronger connections. You build resilience, deepen your virtues, and develop the emotional intelligence needed to handle future challenges with greater skill and grace. In closing, these 8 Stoic-inspired lessons form a comprehensive guide to resolving conflicts skillfully. They invite you to pause and cultivate self-awareness. Listen with empathy, focus on your own responses, communicate clearly, forgive genuinely, seek justice, accept limits wisely, and embrace growth. Applying these principles consistently transforms how you experience conflict, from a source of anxiety and division into an opportunity for peace and connection. It empowers you to navigate relationship challenges with calm, clarity, and courage. Remember, skillful conflict resolution is not about winning or avoiding disagreements, but about embodying virtues that build harmony and understanding. It's a lifelong practice that nurtures both your mental strength and the quality of your relationships. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the art of resolving conflicts with wisdom and grace. May you approach every challenge with a steady heart, a thoughtful mind, and a spirit open to growth. In doing so, you create not just peaceful resolutions, but a life enriched with resilience, respect, and true connection.